Hey guys, Brian the cell phone guy here again. Today I want to take a look at the newest offering from Sonim, and this is the XP10, which also you will see advertised sometimes as the XP9900. This is an improvement over last year's version, which is the XP8. Now the XP10 is the phone on the right here, and last year's version was the XP8, and that's the phone on the left. Now the first thing that you're going to notice is that the phones are very similar in size, but there are a few subtle changes on the screen. Now, if we put the phones side by side and we line up the bottoms of the screen, you can see that on this one, the screen ends here, and on this one, the screen ends here. And what that means is that the screen actually increases in size from 5 inches to 5.5 inches. Well, one of the other changes is the memory on the phone. It used to be 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of memory, and now it's 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of memory. The cameras have also changed. On the back of the XP10, we have 2 cameras. One of them is a 50 megapixel, and an 8 megapixel wide. And on the front, we have the 8 megapixel, which is pretty much the same as the one that was on the XP8. Now, the XP8 only had a 12 megapixel front and an 8 megapixel rear. The speaker on this one is also 3 decibels louder than the last year's model was. And it still has IP68 ratings, and it still has the incredible Sonim 3-year warranty. So let me take a little closer look at the phone itself. So on the left-hand side here, we have the power button, then we have the push-to-talk button, and then volume up and volume down. On the bottom, hidden behind this rubber boot, is the USB-C connector, and the boot just keeps it waterproof. This side we have the camera launch button. Now this is programmable, so you can launch other apps with this if you want. And this is the connector that you have to buy from Sonim if you want to use a 3.5mm jack for a headset. Now the adapter screws onto here. It hooks in this bottom hole, screws on the top hole for security, and then you plug the 3.5mm jack headset into that. On the top we have the red emergency key, and we have the speaker. The antenna bump has gone a little bit smaller, as you can see, between the 10 and the old one on the 8. Now, the battery on this thing also has increased in size, and it's gone from a 5900 to a 6000 milliamp. And that's going to really help with the longevity between charges. Now, on the back of this phone, it's important to know that there is a micro SD slot, but there's also 2 SIM card slots. And these phones do support dual SIM in other countries, but here in Canada, they only support single SIM. So what that means is if you put a single physical SIM into either one of the slots, the phone is going to work. But if you have a SIM card in both slots, then only the SIM card that's in SIM card number 1 is going to work. Now, one of the tricks to putting the SIM cards in these phones is this little tray here. The first thing you have to do is you got to slide it this way to loosen it, and then you flip it up so it opens up like a book. Then you put the SIM card in, put the door down, and slide it this way to lock it in place. A little more difficult than some of the other phones, but it does work quite well. Then we put the battery in. We take the back cover, hook it in at the top, press it in on the sides, and then just give this screw a couple of turns with your thumb, or you can use the screwdriver that came with the phone. So to turn it on, hold down the power button, give it a few seconds, and you'll see it light up like this. And then just be patient as it goes through its boot cycle. Now, once the phone fires up, you will notice that this is running Android 12. So what we have here is the typical grouping of standard setting icons that you can change. We have the Google launch bar, which has the camera launch and the microphone. And on this side, you can type in the search that you're looking for. Up here in the corner, we see the network that we're on. We see the time, and we see the fact that I have a voicemail. And on this side, we have the Wi-Fi, the signal strength, and the battery indicator strength. Now, on the XP8, on the bottom, let me just put these back here. On the bottom of the XP8, we had 3 buttons. We had the backup one screen, we had the home, and we had the show all open apps or previous screen buttons. And on this phone here, what these have become is soft keys. And this one down here is now the fingerprint sensor. So if we open up any app, let's say we go to settings and we go to sound, and we'll manipulate a couple of the sounds. And then to lock it into place, you hit the center button, which is the home key, and that takes us back. If we open up the if we open up the home screen and then we go back one screen, it'll also take us back to the home, but that's because we only had one page open. If we had multiple pages open, this would sequentially move us back through the pages. And the same with this button. If we tap that, it'll give us everything that we had open, however many that is, and then we can hit the clear all, and then that'll bring us back to the home screen. Now, this phone has quite a few more things that we're going to get into a little bit later when we do the full feature review. This is more of an introductory thing. This is a 5G phone, and it does support sub 6 gigahertz C-band on the LTE spectrum. It does not support, it doesn't support eSIM. That may be coming later with a software upgrade, but for now, it's not there. So that's just a quick overview of what the phone looks like and the basis of what it does. Now, the one other thing I want to show you is to turn the phone off, you have to hit the power button and the volume up. If you hit the volume down, you're going to do a screenshot. But if you hit power and volume up and you hold it, and you, and you hold it, you get this screen, and then you can power off. And that's how you have to shut the phone down. So that's all I have for now. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned. We're going to have a few more videos coming in the days and weeks ahead as I start to use this phone as my daily driver. And I will keep you updated as to progress that we make. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments and I will get back to you just as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.